Well, thank you very much for inviting me here this afternoon. As David has just explained, I work for Deed. We are a very small organisation. We work a lot with schools, but we have a very big resource on local Black history. That comes from doing a number of projects over the years where we thought there's been a whole gap in the local history of Dorset, this county that we live in, that has not told the story of the Black people who've lived here over the last 400 years. So we've done a number of projects and we hold a number of resources. So please visit our website and you will see many stories on there from 400 years of Black people of African and Caribbean descent living and working and traveling through the county. We also researched about African-American GIs who came over in 1944 to practice for the D-Day landings. And we also gathered stories from children and young people living in our East Dorset schools to collect their stories and share it with people in the county. So please have a look on our website, see our resources. But if you'd asked me about Black history in the Holocaust, which I was asked to do a talk about, local Black history, fine, but Black history in the Holocaust, I have to say, I didn't know anything about. So I've had to sort of research this to find out the links. And it's very much, I asked myself a question, actually, were there Black people in Nazi Germany? And actually, I had to check myself a bit because I thought, of course, there were Black people in Nazi Germany. I just need to find them. And part of this history, this hidden history that we're discovering, is about finding the people that were not written about. They were hidden. And too often we learn about the story of migration after the Second World War. We do not look at how empire and colonialism set up these multicultural megacities in pre-Second World War Europe. So very much my story starts there, really, because I really wanted to know why people were there and what they were doing and how their lives were. So I'm going to start there, and I'm going to start with the question of why this story isn't told. Now, I refer to my long-term collaborator and friend, Louise Parker, when I come to sort of posing this question about why is this story not being told. And I come back to the definition of we worked together and collaborated together for many years. And I like her quote, that Black history is about telling hidden or forgotten histories of people with African, Caribbean, or Asian heritage who have been ignored by historians, dismissed by the education system, and literally whitewashed out of history. And I fully understand that part of the job of today's Memorial Day is to put that right, is to bring those stories back into the traditional narrative of 20th century history. I knew from my previous research that Black people had been in Europe. These are just the faces of a number of people, Louis Douglas, Belle Davis, Thomas Lewis Johnson, Andrew Bogle, who had been in pre-Second World War Europe. This is just a sample of them, as soldiers, as sailors, as teachers, as politicians, as faith leaders, musicians, actors, many, many more. I knew they had been there, but I knew there must be many, many more.